Morgan wants a three. It's on the way and good. Lamar Morgan now with 6 makes it a 10-6 Savannah State lead.
2 for 3 from three-point land so far for Lamar.
Jenkins on the catch. He wants a three. Back of the rim, no good. Offensive rebound tracked down by Fenner. Deep three, back iron, no, and we're going to get a loose ball foul, I believe, on Coppin State going for a rebound.
I think it's on Davis. He got underneath a little bit.
So 13:42 to go in the opening half. With that, Kent Auslander is going to check in for Coppin State for the first time in this game, along with Lucian Brownlee. Coppin trails Savannah State 10-6. Off the inbound. The catch will be made in the backcourt by Fenner. He brings it back across the time stripe. Races in against Morgan. Glass rim, no good. Tapped up in the air, and Brownlee comes away with it. Now to Davis. Splits a double team of the pass. Far side left Morgan. Kick it left corner. Auslander wants a three. Rim it off, and a long rebound comes out to Jenkins. Quick outlet now for Descent. Descent runs it up to the rack. Had it deflected away. Troyor runs it back. Now to Auslander. Left of the lane. Bounce it weak side of the right to Davis. Quick pass to Brownlee. He wants a three. Yes, sir.
Great ball move at that time, Todd. On the part of the Eagles, really playing the ball well.
Three ball, right side, hit the right of the rim, no good on the Evans attempt. Rebound, comes down to Coppin. Davis stops, fires it ahead now to Morgan. Morgan over the top to Auslander, off his hands, Brownlee saves it in. Auslander back to Brownlee, 10-footer on the way, rim, and it stays home. Lucian Brownlee's quick 5, and Coppin has an 11-10 lead. Line, lane, shoveling it backside is Evans, lost out of bounds off the body of Glenn of Savannah State, back to Coppin State. That brings McClanahan back in. He'll replace Jenkins. That brings John Grant to the table for the first time, and he's going to replace Austin Descent out of Charlotte, North Carolina. That comes with 12:43 to go in the half. Our first lead change comes at 11-10. Auslander in the backcourt. Gives it up to a trailing Davis. Davis now to the forecourt. Back to Auslander, far side left. Now for Morgan around the Auslander screen, and they call him for a moving screen too.
Not planted. That's what happens. If you don't get planted in, you're going to get called for that.
Now it's also a very interesting way they set that screen, because it's a deep knee bend on the screen.
Right. 12:30 left. Coppin by 1.
So now Evans, top side of the right. Now for Glenn. Hands it back to Evans. Evans coming to his left, nearly stumbled down. Gave it up to Fenner. Fenner backs it out, top side right. Now hands it off to Glenn. Glenn at the free throw line. Reverse it back off to Grant. Deep three. Front iron, no. And the rebound tapped out to Troyor. He got bumped off on the double team. No call. Loose ball pinballed around and picked off by McClanahan. Over the top, right to the doorstep is Evans, and he scores. 12-11. Savannah State back on top with 11:53 to go in the opening half. Brownlee with it in the backcourt. Now to Davis. Davis into the forecourt. Swings it high left out of Brownlee. Brownlee, left wing, just behind the arc, now head of the key with 13 to shoot. Goes far side left to Morgan. He thought about a three again, nearly lost the handle, draws the double team, and we got a whistle, and what? A foul on the Tigers, I believe, and also a timeout on the floor. So that a foul is going to be assessed on Fenner, his first. It brings us to the under 12 media timeout at 11:35 to go first half. It's Savannah State 12, Coppin State 11. Back after a 60-second timeout on the Coppin State Sports Network.
Play Suites caters to moderate to your extended stay guests who find comfort in being self-sufficient and doing things their way. To sustain your life's rhythm, Town Place Suites provides a place to unpack, settle in, and connect to the local area. With a casual residential atmosphere and productive home office and full kitchen in every suite, Town Place Suites is all about real living. Whether you're visiting for 1 week or 1 month, you'll feel right at home at Town Place Suites.
Half of all football teams lose every Sunday, which means 50% of fans lose too. But Buffalo Wild Wings offers them a chance at redemption. Just swivel that losing face 12 degrees, and there's more football with a fresh 50% chance of winning. Now it's your turn to laugh at someone else's losing face. Unless it's you again. Then just try another 12 degrees. Tons of football on tons of TVs. We do it for you. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
.11:35 left in the first half, and Savannah State is up by 1 on Coppin State. During that timeout, Coach Dixon continued to campaign for move the ball, move the ball, move the ball.
Well, speaking of moving it, Virginia moving up in the polls because they just knocked off Carolina in the ACC. So now top side left Brownlee. Gave it up to Auslander. Auslander trying to give it back as Fair ran into traffic. Bounce it off, right side out of trailer. Back to Auslander. Auslander going to his left, and he got hand checked. Hand checked by Grant. That's his first.
Auslander has the height and the strength to drive through there. I think that's what they're trying to encourage him to do.
Zach Zellers has returned for Savannah State. Auslander to inbound, defended by John Grant. 12-11, Savannah State leading Coppin State. 11:21 to go first half. Bounce comes into Brownlee, top side of the right. Lucien hands it off to his left. Back to Trayor. Right side kick out to Morgan, coming to his left. Line to the lane, ducks in with a right hand reverse, and he scores off the window. Adam Trayor.
That was a miracle shot right there. That went up over the back and in. What a shot.
13-12 Coppin off the bounce, taking it strong with a right hand and scoring for Savannah State. Zach Zellers. Count it and a foul. So on Keandre Fair, that's his first. Talk about transition baskets. My goodness.
High intensity.
Zellers with a free throw attempt, line left. Puts it on the way, good. Zellers now with 5. 15-13. Savannah State takes the lead on the fourth lead change of the half. Brownlee to Trayor in between the rings. Hands it back to Brownlee, 20 to shoot. Back to Trayor, head of the key. Ball screen, hand off to Fair, going to his right. Sets his feet, wants a three, back of the rim, no good. Rebound came down to Arizu. Hands it off, now to McClanahan. Line, lane on a runner, back of the rim, no for Arizu, and it's last touched by Arizu, out of bounds.
One thing I'll give Savannah State credit for, they get back quick on defense.
Chad Andrews Fulton and Karan Davis re-enter for Coppin State. Fair and Trayor will take seats. So the rotation so far for Coppin State has gone 9 deep. Savannah State has reciprocated with the same number of players. Auslander gave it up to Davis, left of the jump circle. Davis approaching head of the key as we close in on the halfway point of the first half. 15-13, Savannah State leading Coppin State. Penetration by Auslander, right to the doorstep. Glass rim, no good. Battle for the rebound. It's picked up by Fenner. Fenner, left of the lane. Ducked in with the left hand and picked up the dribble. Hands it back to Zellers, top side of the left. Now for Grant. Hands it off to his left, now to Fenner. Fenner coming right of the Auslander defense, and Auslander with the forearm caught him.
Hooked him just to the left as he went to his right.
Check that call. He's not even in the game. He put 1-5 down. He's not even in the game. 23. There you go. That's his second.
Right.
I was starting to wonder, Dan.
Well, we could see it pretty easily from here, though. It's obvious that Auslander committed that foul.
So exactly halfway through the first half, 10-minute mark, 15-13, Savannah State leads Coppin State, 20 to shoot. Zellers on the inbound to our left. Gave it up to Arizu. Far side left. Desant swings it back near side left. McClanahan going right. Knocked away and a late whistle.
Good try. Come on, hurry up. Let's go, baby. Let's go, White. Hurry up, John. Hurry up.
Foul was on Drummond.
That's his first. So for Coppin State, that's now their 17th foul in the opening half. It comes with 9:49 to go. And it sends McClanahan line left. First one's on the way, rim, and it rattles home. Makes it a 16-13 Tiger lead. Stockbridge, Georgia native. They list him at 6'5". He's eye-to-eye with Karan Davis, who is listed at 6'2". Second one's good. So McClanahan got them both, make it 17-13 Savannah State. Drummond on the catch, give it back to Davis. Davis across the time stripe, now to the forecourt. 20 to shoot. High left, Andrews Fulton at the elbow, facing up. Ball screen handoff, back to Brownlee. Brownlee goes left side. Drummond, penetration left of the lane, tried to go up and ram it home, and he got fouled.
Way to go, Tay!
Nice move to the basket that time by Drummond. I believe that's what coach wants him to do. He wants him to go for that paint, pick up the foul.
Fouls on Javaris Jenkins. That's his first. So Drummond steps in, line to the right. From our vantage point on TV, it's line left. First one on the way, and that's good. 17-14 Savannah State. Well, if Coppin doesn't have the lead, Dan Mason, this is exactly where Juan Dixon wants them to be within a one-possession game. Missed free throw, rebounded by Davis. Brownlee resets it.
Great effort that time by Karan.
So now a chance to tie with a three. Davis head of the key. Left wing behind the arc, now coming back to his right. Steps back, wants the three. Back of the rim, no good. Nobody in white there for a rebound. Here comes Sellers on the run back. Puts his back to the basket, now swings it far side to the right to Jenkins. Jenkins on the bounce. Ball screen handoff, right side three. That was blocked. And it's going to go right to the rim, no good. And the rebound yanked out by Drummond. Quick outlet out of Davis. Right corner kick to Brownlee for three. It's on the way, and we're tied at 17.
Brownlee is hot right now. He is all in.
Ties the game at 17. Line, lane, right-hand floater goes rim and good for Sellers. Give him 7. (19-17) Savannah State. Deflected and stolen. Jenkins up the right side. The set back between the rings. Now McClanahan, far side of the right. Jenkins back to McClanahan, runs into lane in traffic, and a blocking foul called on Coppin State. That one's on Chad Andrews Fulton. That's his first. That brings Adam Trayor back to the scorer's table, along with Cedric Council Jr. Eighth team foul puts McClanahan at the free throw line. First one's on the way. Good. McClanahan now with 3. Makes it a 20-17 Savannah State lead.
Coach Dixon's still working on positioning his players, trying to get them to the middle.
Second one's on the way. Good. McClanahan with 4 in the opening half. He'll check out. Did you hear Gaseba checks in for the first time? Tigers on top 21-17. Now that substitution comes ahead of the under 8 media timeout. Davis coming left to right, now to the forecourt. Now between the rings. Goes left at the elbow, swings it off to Brownlee. Now back to Davis, 13 to shoot. Davis goes left to the Trayor screen, picks up the bounce, bounce it down to Trayor, turns into traffic, kick it out left corner. Brownlee with 6, down to 5. Step back three is on the way. Make it a long two for Lucian Brownlee.
He was wide open that time, uncontested.
Make it 21-19. Savannah State by 2, 7:45 and counting here in the opening half. Jenkins with it, far side of the right, now to Sellers. Sellers, right corner kick out now to Fenner. Fenner, skip pass, top side left into the hands of Descent. Left corner three, ball on the way, good out of that left corner by Cabeza. 24-19. Savannah State with 7:20 to go in the opening half. They can all shoot the three, can't they?
They sure can. They're not afraid to throw it up.
Wow.
But keep in mind, Todd, it's 29%. That's what they shoot.
Council hands it off. Brownlee right side feed, and a tough catch there by Drummond. 7 to shoot. Davis reverse it off. Head of the key. Three ball on the way. Back of the rim. No. Out of the hand of Traore. In the forecourt now. Far side of the right. They'll reverse it off left side to Sellers. Sellers wants a three. Back iron. No good. Poked away from Traore. He goes up the left side quickly to Davis. Davis into the forecourt. Now coming back to his right. Goes left of the lane. Fights it up in traffic. Left of the rim and off. A lot of contact there, Dan. No call. Sellers on the run back quickly. Up the left side of the floor. Fenner bounce it off weak side of the right. Out of bounds. Intended for Cabeza, but he couldn't get there.
It's one of the first turnovers we've seen on Savannah State today.
6:30 to go first half. It's now Savannah State 24, Coppin State 19. Back after this timeout on the Coppin State Sports Network.
Coppin State University means something different to everyone. Jason is a recent high school grad, attending Coppin full-time, getting his 4-year degree, preparing for a lucrative career. Kimberly took time off to start a family and now attends Coppin part-time and enjoys the affordability and supportive environment. Kazim wants to change careers and finds that Coppin provides the flexibility he needs to keep working while getting that second degree. Coppin State University, something different to everyone, something special for you.
Town Place Suites caters to moderate tier extended stay guests who find comfort in being self-sufficient and doing things their way. To sustain your life's rhythm, Town Place Suites provides a place to unpack, settle in, and connect to the local area. With a casual residential atmosphere and productive home office and full kitchen in every suite, Town Place Suites is all about real living. Whether you're visiting for 1 week or 1 month, you'll feel right at home at Town Place Suites.
We're back. 6:30 left in the first half. Savannah on top, 24-19. So far, Todd, Lucian Brownlee leads all scorers with 10 points. He's having a whale of a game. Perfect from the field, perfect from three-point land.
5 lead changes and 2 ties in this game. Exactly where Coppin wants to be, within a possession or 2 as we go forward.
Auslander checked back into the game during the timeout for the Eagles.
Brownlee's got it, swings it off to Auslander in the forecourt. He's waiting for Davis to cross that time stripe. Reverse it off now for Brownlee. Gave it back to Davis. Right side Auslander, right corner kick to Morgan, who checked in out of the immediate timeout. 10 to shoot. Davis with it. Coming back into the key with 5, gave it up to Morgan. Penetration right of the lane, turns, fires from 10 and drained it.
Nice shot. He had a hand in his face, too, on that one.
24-21. Tigers by 3. Step back from 15. Rim it off for Fenner. Rebound to Traore. They'll come back to Davis.
Coppin State's done a nice job on the board so far.
Davis head to the key. Steps line to the lane. Tried it with the right hand and got fouled. That foul is on Cabeza. That's his first.
Well, that's the formula for success, Todd, is to drive that paint, pick up the foul, make the free throws.
Davis steps in. First of 2 on the way. It's good. 24-22 Savannah State with 5:40 to go in the half.
Tyleek Evans in the game now for Savannah State. Junior guard from Macon, Georgia.
2 points, no fouls. in this game so far. Davis, 2 points and a foul. Makes it 24-23 Savannah State. Ball screen handoff out of Fenner. Bounce it off between the rings. Now for Cabeza. Hands it back to Sellers. Sellers reverse it off right corner. McClanahan, dribble penetration. Gave it back to Cabeza. He traveled and scores.
Boy, Coach Dixon is off the bench. He's not happy. The official was right there. He saw it. He stood next to Coach Davis.
26-23. Savannah State with 5:13 to go in the half. Davis the handle. Right corner kick to Morgan. Coming to his left. Now back right of the Davis screen. Reverse it off for Trayor between the rings. He'll track it down. And a timeout, Coppin State. That comes with 5:01 to go in the opening half. We'll keep it here on the floor with the 30-second timeout called by Coppin State. In fact, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Coppin State Sports Network.
WNSP 1570 Towson and online FoxSportsWilliamsports.com Stream 6.
So just at 5 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, Coppin State women got their first MEAC win of the year by defeating Savannah State 66-57 earlier today. Todd Bartley, Dan Mason with you here at the PEC at Coppin State in Baltimore. Great one going on. 5 lead changes, 2 ties. Savannah State leading Coppin State 26-23.
Well, Juan Dixon was off the bench on that last call. He thought he should have had a traveling call, but didn't happen.
5:01 to go in the half, 12 to shoot. Inbound from the far side of our location, closest to the camera angle. Auslander triggers it in, head of the key. Now reversed off to Brownlee. Gave it up to Auslander. Hands it off to Trayor. Power bounce right of the lane. Fights it up right of the rim. No good. Got his own miss back. Fights it up again. And it got knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Savannah State.
That was a great pass by Auslander going in there for that potential assist. He didn't hit it, but a great pass.
Davis from the baseline to inbound. And with that, Descent checks back in. And he'll replace Zach Sellers. Davis from the baseline, looks to inbound. Lobs it in, top side right. Trayor going strong to his left, and he's blocked on the way up, and a foul called. So it's on Cabeza. That's his second. It comes with 4:46 to go in the half.
The game is still ultra intense here.
And last couple times down, Coppin State's done a very nice job taking it to the basket and getting to the line. Trayor puts the first one on the way, and it rattled the rim and popped out. That gets Jenkins back in the Savannah State lineup. He'll replace Cabeza, exiting with 5 points and 2 fouls. Second attempt on the way, good. So Trayor split a pair, give him 3, and make it 26-24 Coppin. A trailing 3 is on the way, left of the rim and off by Evans. So now Dan Mason, Coppin a chance with a 3 to take the lead back. Auslander out of the left corner, thought about a 3. Hesitation dribble, hands it off to Davis.
I think the instructions for Auslander is to drive that middle.
Davis wants a 3, and he buries it. Give him 5, and Coppin's got the lead at 27-26. And an answer 3 by Savannah State. Descent with his second triple, give him 6. 29-27, Savannah State on top.
That was right back at you, huh?
They don't wait at all. It's why they lead the country in three-point attempts. Trayor with it, head of the key. Ball screen hand off to Brownlee. Brownlee nearly lost the handle. 10 to shoot. Ball screen hand off. Trayor gave it up to Davis. Step back 15-footer. Rim, and it popped out. Rebounded Jenkins. Left side 3. Rim, no. But a whistle and a foul on the Descent 3-ball attempt against Coppin State. Chad Andrews Fulton set to check in. Trayor picks up his second. That brings Drummond back to the table as well, and we have a time on the floor. 3:42 to go, first half. It's now Savannah State 29, Coppin State 27. Back after this time on the Coppin State Sports Network.
Mouth. That poor, parched mouth. So dry. What'd you eat for lunch? Chalk dust? Did your face storm a sandcastle? Did your mouth cannonball into a barrel of mothballs? You're being awfully quiet. Is that because your mouth feels like the business end of a Dremel saw? Is it because your mouth just wrote a haiku and all 17 syllables were dry heaves? Do you even listen to your mouth? Because right now your mouth thinks its biological parents are a half sheet of 80 grit sandpaper and a box of fish food. You're so parched. You know it. I know it. The entire radio knows it. Just admit it. You want a Mountain Dew? Your mouth feels like it just inhaled the insides of a punching bag, and the only remedy is that neon green potion. Right now, your mouth could be tongue bathing in the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Instead, it feels like you've been motorboating King Tut's sarcophagus. What was that? Is that your parched mouth crying for help, or a porcupine making whoopee with a cardboard box? Wrong. It's your mouth. Show some mercy. Crack open an ice cold Mountain Dew. You know your mouth wants you to. Do the Dew.
Well, Karan Davis, 1 for 7 from the field, 1 for 4 for three-point land. We need to get going. Karan needs to get going and lead this team on. We're down by 2. Here's Todd.
Dan, thanks very kindly. 3:42 to go in the opening half. Savannah State leads Coppin State 29-27. If he can get on track the way that Lucian Brownlee's got going here in this opening half with 10 and Lamar Morgan with 8, including 2 threes. Coppin's well on its way to that first conference win and first win overall on the year. First free throw is on the way, rim and off. On the attempt for Austin Descent.
That's the first miss today at the free throw line. That's the second miss.
He'll have a third one.
Now 5 for 7 from the free throw line.
Third attempt is good. So he goes 1 for 3 at the line. Descent now with 7, makes it 30-27. Savannah State, 3:39 to go in the half. Davis with it, now to Brownlee into the forecourt. 20 to shoot. It comes back to Davis in the jump circle. Hands it off to Andrews Fulton at the right elbow. Trying to go left. Got cut off. Hands it back to Davis. Davis at the free throw line. Backs it out. Swings it near side left. Morgan's got it. 4 to shoot. Bouncing off the Andrews Fulton. Turns, fires, and it didn't hit anything. Other than the bottom side of the net. That one extra pass, Dan, the shot clock 1 under 10 cost him. So with 3:11 to go in the opening half, Savannah State a 3-point lead. Kick out coming left side of Fenner. Ball screen hand up from Jenkins back to Fenner. Fenner line to the lane, lost it off his shoe top. Here comes Morgan, bounce it ahead to Drummond. Drummond going strong with the right hand, spun it off the iron. Morgan there to tap it home.
Nice follow-up by Lamar. Looking good. Put it right in.
30-29, Tigers by 1. 2:50 to go in the half. Sellers hands it off high right. Down to McClanahan, nearly taken away by Andrews Fulton. High right to Jenkins, ball screen hand off to Descent. Descent hands it off top side left down for Fenner. Fenner coming left with 12 to shoot. Baseline left penetration by Sellers. Feeds it inside. Jenkins blocked, and we got a late whistle, and what? Morgan ran around the backside of the basket, baseline left, came over toward the bench, and the official says, please don't do that again.
That foul's going to be on, I believe, Cedric Council.
He just put up a number 5.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I think he meant 5 at the free throw line, probably.
Morgan with his second. Yep. That's twice he's done that. That's all right. We knew what he thought he meant.
He's even fooling our trusted PA announcer, Gary.
He is. Yes, he is.
Gary never gets fooled.
So Jenkins wears number 5. He will step into the free throw line. First one's on the way. It's good. Jenkins now with 6 makes it a 31-29. Savannah State lead with 2:33 to go in this first half. Second free throw coming. Second one's on the way, and it rattles home. So Jenkins got them both. He's got 7. 32-29. Tigers by 3 at the 2:33 mark. Drummond to inbound from the baseline. Davis has his forearm right in the chest of Evans, getting ready to receive the inbound pass. He does. Now for Drummond. Back to Davis. Davis taking Evans off the bounce. Dribbles toward the sideline. Now back between the rings. Closing in on 15 to shoot. Top side left to Morgan. Now to Drummond. Drummond between the rings. Now to Davis. Around the Andrews Fulton screen. Right corner kick to Brownlee. 5 to shoot. Davis line to the lane. Kick out left corner. Morgan a 3. It's on the way. Good. And Morgan ties the game at 32.
Lamar Morgan is on fire right now.
He's got 13 in the opening half. Penetration by Evans. Skips it near side left to Sellers. Out of the left corner, a 3-ball. Rimming off for Evans. Dives to the floor as he was falling away on that 3 attempt. Davis on the run back. Feeds it off to Brownlee. Oh, he had a clean look at a 3. Andrews Fulton on the dump down. He got fouled.
All the fouls are occurring in the paint, Todd. That's where they have to be.
Andrews Fulton's grabbing at his left side, in and around the ribcage area.
He gets beat up a lot under there.
Sellers, the Shiraw, South Carolina product, with his first.
To Chad's credit, he never stops playing. He's on every play.
So 1:40 to go in the opening half. Coppin State trying to regain the lead. Andrews Fulton puts it on the way and buries it. His first offense in this game gives Coppin State the lead back at 33-32. 8th lead change in the half. Second one's on the way. Good again. 34-32 on 2 Andrews Fulton free throws. 2-3 zone look from the Eagles. McClanahan on the catch, left elbow, reversing off between the rings to Jenkins. Jenkins feeds it far side. He and Sellers playing 2-man. Jenkins wants a 3 one more time and buries another one. He's got 10. 35-34 Savannah State. 1:18 to go in the half. Drummond left side to Brownlee. Step in 3. Good again. Lucian Brownlee. Give him 13 in the half. Put back on top, 37-35.
Big game for Lucian.
Closing in on a minute to go first half. Now for Sellers. Sellers going right. Hands off on a ball screen. 3-ball comes rimming off out of the hand of Descent. And on the rebound attempt, we got a whistle and a foul. Drummond ended up on the floor. Traore just picked up his 3rd.
I thought they were going to call that on Savannah State. But nope.
That gets Chad Andrews Fulton back to the scorer's table, and he'll have to wait because Coppin's over the limit. As Tyleek Evans stands in at the free throw line. First of 2 on the way. That one's good. He's got 3 points in the half. 37-36, Coppin by 1. Second one's on the way. Good again. Evans now with 4. Ties the game at 37. Under a minute to go here in the opening half. Davis on the catch in the backcourt. Will come uncontested now through the jump circle into the forecourt. 17 to shoot. Davis coming right to the Morgan screen. Bounce it off high right now to Drummond. Drummond faces up. Hands it off to Brownlee. 10 to shoot. Drummond now to Davis. 8, 7, 6 to shoot. Davis going left of the lane. Fades away from 12. Came up empty. Shot clock turned off. 25 seconds and rolling. Closing out the opening half. McClanahan and the Tigers can hold for 1. And they'll take a timeout. 19.3 to go in the opening half. We're back at 30 seconds on the Coppin State Sports Network.
Of all football teams lose every Sunday, which means 50% of fans lose too. But Buffalo Wild Wings offers them a chance at redemption. Just swivel that losing face 12 degrees, and there's more football with a fresh 50% chance of winning. Now it's your turn to laugh at someone else's losing face. Unless it's you again. Then just try another 12 degrees. Tons of football and tons of TVs. We do it for you. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Don't forget to join Coppin State Sports Athletics and Coppin Basketball on social media. Coppin State Sports is on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Deadlocked at 37. 19.3 to go in the opening half. Savannah State with the basketball. Possession arrow in favor of the Tigers as well here in the opening half. Inbounder will be McClanahan with Juan Dixon right beside him. A little extra defender right there. 15 seconds and rolling. Sellers on the bounce. Right of the jump circle. Swings it off the near side left. Evans has it. Kicks it out right side. Right corner three ball for McClanahan is good. His first three give him 7.5, and that'll do it. Savannah State will take a 40-37 lead into the locker room here at the PEC. 10 lead changes and 4 ties in the opening half. It's Savannah State 40, Coppin State 37 at the break on the Coppin State Sports Network.
Coppin State University means something different to everyone. Jason is a recent high school grad, attending Coppin full-time, getting his 4-year degree, preparing for a lucrative career. Kimberly took time off to start a family and now attends Coppin part-time and enjoys the affordability and supportive environment. Kazim wants to change careers and finds that Coppin provides the flexibility he needs to keep working while getting that second degree. Coppin State University, something different to everyone, something special for you.
Town Place Suites caters to moderate to your extended stay guests who find comfort in being self-sufficient and doing things their way. To sustain your life's rhythm, Town Place Suites provides a place to unpack, settle in, and connect to the local area. With a casual residential atmosphere and productive home office and full kitchen in every suite, Town Place Suites is all about real living. Whether you're visiting for 1 week or 1 month, you'll feel right at home at Town Place Suites.
Look at that mouth. That poor, parched mouth. So dry. What'd you eat for lunch? Chalk dust? Did your face storm a sandcastle? Did your mouth cannonball into a barrel of mothballs? You're being awfully quiet. Is that because your mouth feels like the business end of a Dremel saw? Is it because your mouth just wrote a haiku and all 17 syllables were dry heaves? Do you even listen to your mouth? Because right now your mouth thinks its biological parents are a half sheet of 80 grit sandpaper and a box of fish food. You're so parched. You know it. I know it. The entire radio knows it. Just admit it. You want a Mountain Dew? Your mouth feels like it just inhaled the insides of a punching bag, and the only remedy is that neon green potion. Right now, your mouth could be tongue bathing in the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Instead, it feels like you've been motorboating King Tut's sarcophagus. What was that? Is that your parched mouth crying for help, or a porcupine making whoopee with a cardboard box? Wrong. It's your mouth. Show some mercy. Crack open an ice cold Mountain Dew. You know your mouth wants you to. Do the dew.
SSS.gov presents good advice from Dad.
Do that.
Dad's advice is usually pretty simple.
Don't do that.
Here's Dad on important topics like asking out that girl you like.
Do that.
On asking out her sister.
Don't do that.
Now here's Dad on going to SSS.gov and registering with Selective Service when a young man turns 18.
Do that.
See? Dad knows it's the law, and that registering will preserve your eligibility for college loans and government jobs. Go to SSS.gov today and register.
Do that.
Half of all football teams lose every Sunday, which means 50% of fans lose too. But Buffalo Wild Wings offers them a chance at redemption. Just swivel that losing face 12 degrees, and there's more football with a fresh 50% chance of winning. Now it's your turn to laugh at someone else's losing face. Unless it's you again. Then just try another 12 degrees. Tons of football and tons of TVs. We do it for you. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Davis on the bounce against the 2-3 zone. Right side, Morgan, a deep three right side, and he rattles it home. Lamar Morgan gives Coppin a 3-0 lead. Morgan soft out for Glenn. Top side left, Jenkins wants a 3, bottoms again. This is a recurring theme. You've got Savannah State with a 6-3 lead. They lead the nation, Dan, in 3s attempted. And a long rebound comes out to Jenkins. Quick outlet now for DeSunt. DeSunt runs it up to the rack, had it deflected away. Troyer runs it back. Now to Orflander. Left of the lane. Bouncing weak side of the right to Davis. Quick pass to Brownlee. He wants a 3. Yes, sir. Morgan on the top to Orflander. Off his hands. Brownlee saves it in. Orflander back to Brownlee. 10-footer on the way. Rim, and it stays home. Lucian Brownlee, a quick 5. And Coppin has an 11-10 lead. Back to Trayor. Right side kick out to Morgan. Coming to his left. Line to the lane. Justin with a right hand reverse, and he scores off the window. Adam Trayor.
That was a miracle shot right there. That went up over the back and in. What a shot.
Yanked out by Drummond. Quick outlet out of Davis. Right corner kick to Brownlee for 3. It's on the way, and we're tied at 17.
Brownlee is hot right now. He is all in.
Davis goes left to the Trayor screen. Picks up the bounce. Bounces down to Trayor. Turns into traffic. Kick it out left corner. Brownlee with 6. Down to 5. Step back 3 is on the way. Make it a long 2 for Lucian Brownlee. Center. Line to the lane. Lost it off the shoot top. Here comes Morgan. Bounce it ahead to Drummond. Drummond going strong with the right hand. Spun it off the iron. Morgan there to cap it home. Sweeter rakes out of Davis around the Andrews Fulton screen. Right corner kick to Brownlee. 5 to shoot. Davis line to the lane. Kick out left corner. Morgan a 3. It's on the way. Good. And Morgan ties the game at 32. Evans has it. Kicks it out right side. Right corner 3 ball for McClanahan is good. His first 3 gives him 7.5, and that'll do it. Savannah State will take a 40-37 lead into the locker room here at the CEC.
Look at that mouth. That poor, parched mouth. So dry. What'd you eat for lunch? Chalk dust? Did your face storm a sandcastle? Did your mouth cannonball into a barrel of mothballs? You're being awfully quiet. Is that because your mouth feels like the business end of a Dremel saw? Is it because your mouth just wrote a haiku and all 17 syllables were dry heaves? Do you even listen to your mouth? Because right now your mouth thinks its biological parents are a half sheet of 80 grit sandpaper and a box of fish food. You're so parched. You know it. I know it. The entire radio knows it. Just admit it. You want a Mountain Dew? Your mouth feels like it just inhaled the insides of a punching bag, and the only remedy is that neon green potion. Right now, your mouth could be tongue bathing in the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Instead, it feels like you've been motorboating King Tut's sarcophagus. What was that? Is that your parched mouth crying for help, or a porcupine making whoopee with a cardboard box? Wrong. It's your mouth. Show some mercy. Crack open an ice cold Mountain Dew. You know your mouth wants you to. Do the dew.
Half of all football teams lose every Sunday, which means 50% of fans lose too. But Buffalo Wild Wings offers them a chance at redemption. Just swivel that losing face 12 degrees, and there's more football with a fresh 50% chance of winning. Now it's your turn to laugh at someone else's losing face. Unless it's you again. Then just try another 12 degrees. Tons of football and tons of TVs. We do it for you. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Coppin State University means something different to everyone. Jason is a recent high school grad, attending Coppin full-time, getting his 4-year degree, preparing for a lucrative career. Kimberly took time off to start a family, and now attends Coppin part-time and enjoys the affordability and supportive environment. Kazim wants to change careers and finds that Coppin provides the flexibility he needs to keep working while getting that second degree. Coppin State University, something different to everyone, something special for you.
Town Place Suites caters to moderate tier extended stay guests who find comfort in being self-sufficient and doing things their way. To sustain your life's rhythm, Town Place Suites provides a place to unpack, settle in, and connect to the local area. With a casual residential atmosphere and productive home office and full kitchen in every suite, Town Place Suites is all about real living. Whether you're visiting for 1 week or 1 month, you'll feel right at home at Town Place Suites.
I'm John, a volunteer at United Way. I'm here at Lincoln Elementary School to find out what this place needs. Who knows better about what kids need than kids, right? Let's ask them.
Monsters! Lasers! A pool! Another guinea pig! More lasers! Snickers!
I was thinking more spinach at lunchtime and maybe more exercise.
Nah. Lasers are cool.
When it comes to creating healthier communities, what this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to UnitedWay.org, because great things happen when we live united. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
break here at the PEC. Coppin State University at Savannah State 40, Coppin State 37. The reason being, 3-ball by McClanahan, his first 3 of the half, gives Savannah State that margin, and that was after Coppin didn't get a great look on their last possession of the opening half.
I looked down at the halftime stats, and the combination of Morgan and Brownlee, 6 for 6 from three-point land tonight.
Funny you mentioned that, Dan. I got a point on Brownlee. 13 points in the opening half. His best performance in a half in a Coppin State uniform, and it outshines his season high of 9 points, and he's closing in on a new career high, which he had 16 points against Howard last year on March 7th. Every other category is about even, isn't it?
Well, Coppin State's shooting 38% from the field in the first half, and that's above their season average of 33. However, Savannah State, 42.9, and their season average is 37. So, you know, the three-point circle, 7 for 14 for Coppin State, 6 for 18 for Savannah State. Like you said, they can gun that ball up there. And then free throws, you know, we're not getting to the line enough right now. 6 points at the line, and Savannah State's got 10. So if you add, there's the difference right there, plus the bucket at the end, obviously. Rebounds are fairly even at this point in the game. Turnovers, both teams have done a good job in turnovers today. Coppin State's turned it over 6 times, and Savannah State 4 times. So on paper, it's a pretty even game.
So plus 4 in the rebound margin, minus 2 in a turnover, so minus 2, and you're down by 3.
Yep. That's about as even as you can get. Points in the paint, Savannah State 10, Coppin State 4. Points off turnovers, 9-7. Savannah State has more. But second chance points, Coppin State 6, Savannah State 2, with the big men underneath that they have. So I give, there's a lot of high-pressure defense going on in there. And on the rebounding side, Deron Davis has 5 rebounds, and Andrew Fulton has 4. It's really evenly spread out. Morgan has 4, Traylor has 4, so, and we're in for a good second half for sure.
Yeah, both teams in around 30 attempts in that opening half, and you mentioned it. How many times in that first half did we mention for both teams they're under 10 on the shot clock?
But you just get the feeling when you watch this game that and we know that Coppin State typically plays a second half better than the first. So I would think that there's a really good run in there somewhere that with a lot of intensity that you just keep thinking that they're going to break out of this in any second.
So we'll run away for a quick timeout. When we come back, second half, Savannah State leads Coppin State 40-37 in the MEAC opener here at home for Coppin State on the Coppin State Sports Network.
Half of all football teams lose every Sunday, which means 50% of fans lose too. But Buffalo Wild Wings offers them a chance of redemption. Just swivel that losing face 12 degrees, and there's more football with a fresh 50% chance of winning. Now it's your turn to laugh at someone else's losing face. Unless it's you again. Then just try another 12 degrees. Tons of football and tons of TVs. We do it for you. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Coppin State University means something different to everyone. Jason is a recent high school grad, attending Coppin full-time, getting his 4-year degree, preparing for a lucrative career. Kimberly took time off to start a family, and now attends Coppin part-time and enjoys the affordability and supportive environment. Kazim wants to change careers and finds that Coppin provides the flexibility he needs to keep working while getting that second degree. Coppin State University, something different to everyone, something special for you.
Town Place Suites caters to moderate tier extended stay guests who find comfort in being self-sufficient and doing things their way. To sustain your life's rhythm, Town Place Suites provides a place to unpack, settle in, and connect to the local area. With a casual residential atmosphere and productive home office and full kitchen in every suite, Town Place Suites is all about real living. Whether you're visiting for 1 week or 1 month, you'll feel right at home at Town Place Suites.
Look at that mouth. That poor, parched mouth. So dry. What'd you eat for lunch? Chalk dust? Did your face storm a sandcastle? Did your mouth cannonball into a barrel of mothballs? You're being awfully quiet. Is that because your mouth feels like the business end of a Dremel saw? Is it because your mouth just wrote a haiku and all 17 syllables were dry heaves? Do you even listen to your mouth? Because right now your mouth thinks its biological parents are a half sheet of 80 grit sandpaper and a box of fish food. You're so parched. everyone knows it, just admit it. You want a Mountain Dew? Your mouth feels like it just inhaled the insides of a punching bag, and the only remedy is that neon green potion. Right now, your mouth could be tongue-bathing in the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Instead, it feels like you've been motorboating King Tut's sarcophagus. What was that? Is that your parched mouth crying for help, or a porcupine making movie with a cardboard box? Wrong. It's your mouth. Show some mercy. Crack open a nice cold Mountain Dew. You know your mouth wants you to. Do the deal.
You've heard of the law of gravity, right? Like when you trip at the top of the stairs, you fall to the bottom. Or nature's law.
Keep dreaming.
There's another law you can't ignore. The U.S. law requiring young men to register with Selective Service when they turn 18. Failure to comply means you can miss out on a lot, like college loans and government jobs. Fortunately, registering is easy. Just visit sss.gov on your computer, smartphone, or any post office. Do it, and it'll be one less law you have to worry about.
We're back. What promises to be a great second half of basketball. I'm Dan Mason with Todd Bartley. Todd, what do you think? What's Coach Dixon saying in the huddle? They're 3 feet to your left.
Did you guys see the women's game?
No, I don't believe he said that.
It's kind of the same type finish, the way it's setting up, because you saw Savannah State make that run to close it to 5. We're basically in the same 1-2 possession type of game here at the break, and the women just did a great job to stem that tide late, and they win 66-57. I think we're in the same type of situation here with Coppin State and Savannah State in the men's game, 40-37 for the Tigers.
Well, so far, I can't see anyone in any kind of foul trouble. Not bad at all, really. I mean, 0-1 on the Savannah side, and maybe 2 fouls up there on Morgan, but that's about it.
Yeah, Troy Orr's got 3, but he's been held to 3 points today. But how about Brownlee's coming out party in that opening half with 13?
He was on fire. 3 for 3 from the field, and a perfect score. I think he was 4 for 4 from field goal. I'm not regular field goal range.
Dan, keep in mind, Trey Thomas, who is a outstanding three-point shooter in his own right, didn't see a minute of time in that opening half.
Wow.
Let's see if Juan Dixon goes to him in the second half to try to close this thing out. 40-37, Tigers with the lead. They'll have the basketball first here in the second half. Sellers has it. As on TV, right to left go the Tigers. Top side left, Jenkins on the catch. 3 ball comes rimming off that left wing. Counsel the rebound, quickly away to Drummond. Now for Davis. Gave it back to Drummond, now to Davis. In the forecourt, right of the jump circle. 2-3 zone look by Savannah State.
That first half was so intense, Todd, that we might see a little bit of a slowdown here, but it's going to come down to who can outlast 2 athletically, I believe.
Andrews Fulton turned it over with 8 to shoot on the shot clock. Left to right on the run back, McClanahan. Top side of the right, Jenkins wants a 3. Back of the rim, no. Up the ladder, Morgan for the loose ball. Lost it, and then last touched by Sellers of Savannah State out of bounds.
Morgan was up high for that rebound, but then a Savannah State player just slapped it down, but it goes out on him, and Coppin State retains.
In the preseason poll, Savannah State was ranked 5th. Coppin State ranked 12th. Davis on the run back, skips it right side, Drummond, kick out right corner. Morgan for 3, hard up the back iron, no good. And the rebound comes down to Descent. Up the right corner now for Sellers. Back around the left side. Now into the key, Glenn. Left to right on the handle comes McClanahan. He turned it over. Drummond on the run back. Runs into a double team. Kicked it out to Morgan. Morgan lined to the lane. Lost the handle. Loose ball on the floor. Andrews Fulton picks it up. Lost the handle. Last touch by Savannah State.
Good hustle by Andrews Fulton that time again.
Juan Dixon just told Lamar Morgan, shoot the basketball. He had a clean look at a 3 off that right wing and decided to put it on the floor. Off the inbound, Davis from the baseline. Lobs it out top side right, Drummond. 19 to shoot.
Well, if you can imagine that he'll take the shot next time.
Morgan on the catch, no look feed. Lob to Counsel, down to Andrews Fulton. Blocked on the way up by Glenn. Last touch by Coppin State out of bounds. It's an extra pass down low to Andrews Fulton. Not that that's a bad thing, but he turned right into Glenn, who was waiting for it.
you get a ball in this side like that, you can't put it on the floor or take an extra pass. You got to go for it.
Sellers kicks it back to Jenkins. He'll bury a three. Give him 13. Make it 43-37, Savannah State. Nearly 2 minutes gone, second half. Morgan on the catch. Draws three different defenders, now to Davis. Davis head of the key. Skip it, left corner. Drummond going baseline left. Swings it all the way back top side right. Morgan a deep three, rim it off. Council knocked it loose and out of bounds, or was it? Last touched by McClanahan out of bounds.
That's a good call. He did touch that last. Hard to see from our angle, but that's exactly what happened.
Council Jr. checks out. Auslander's back in. Davis to inbound from the baseline, trailing 43-37, 17:48 to go, second half. Lob to the top. Drummond on the catch now for Auslander. Back to Drummond, back to Auslander. One dribble to his right, now to Drummond head of the key, back to Auslander. Dribble penetration, dumps it down to Davis on the doorstep, tried to fight it up and he got fouled. That's a tough catch under the basket.
That's what Coach Dixon wants. He wants Auslander to drive to the center of the paint. Not hang around the perimeter too much, but use his strength and height to get inside that paint.
Marcius Glenn with that foul. That's his first.
And after that, he can determine what he wants to do. He can either shovel it out, kick it out, or take the shot himself.
Davis line left, rim it off. He'll have another one. Second attempt forthcoming. Good. Karan Davis now with 6. 43-38, Savannah State by 5. Right to left of the lane. Descent with it, swings it out deep left. Three ball comes rimming off out of the hand of Jenkins. Morgan with it over the top. Andrews full at the free throw line. Lane fights it up. It was blocked by Glenn. Last man to touch it out of bounds with 17 to shoot.
He didn't see him, but he had Auslander all by himself under there, not guarded.
And with that, Arizu's going to replace Glenn in the Savannah State lineup. Davis from the baseline to inbound, looking, gets it in far side of the right. And Drummond got bumped off. That's on Descent. That's his first. Second on Savannah State here in the second half.
Circle down. You know, circle down.
Auslander from the far side to inbound the basketball.
No, circle down.
Inbound comes to Davis. Near the jump circle. Davis coming near side left. Coming right at the Auslander screen. Now to Drummond, top side right. Back to Davis, 10 to shoot. Auslander coming to his right. Back to Davis, right side Drummond, 7. Down to 6. Swings it back to Davis with 5. Down to 4. Davis goes left. Hoists up a 3. Hit the glass, no good. Rebound to Jenkins. Swings it out the right side now for Sellers. Lane, McClanahan scores with the right hand. Give him 9.
Longest lead of the game right now at 7 for Savannah State.
45-38. Andrews Fulton hands it off to Morgan. Draws 2 defenders. Swings it back to Davis. Davis head of the key against the 2-3 zone. Backs it out. Looking left at Drummond. Right side Morgan. Back to Davis. 10 to shoot. Left side Drummond. Coming to his right. Feeds it off to Auslander. Touch pass to Davis. Step left 3 is on the way. Good. Karan Davis. 45-41 Savannah State. 4 minutes into the second half. High right to Jenkins. Nearly turned it over. Reverse it off to Sellers. Sellers kicks it off head of the key now for Arizu. Gives it off to Jenkins. Runs in a lane, and he'll punch it down. Will Arizu off that nice pick and roll from Jenkins.
That was a defensive switch up right there, and they made him pay. Tigers made him pay. And on the defensive end right now, Todd, the Tigers doing a really good job of occupying the middle of that paint to prevent Coppin State from driving.
47-41 Savannah State. Davis just over the time stripe with a second to spare. Top side right to Morgan. Back to Davis on a deflection. top side left, now to Drummond. Finds Oslander left of the lane, lost the handle. Andrews Fulton picks it up, power bounce right of the lane, fights it up and scores.
After sheer power, Andrews Fulton Park just went right through the defender.
Makes it 47-43, Savannah State. Sellers nearly lost the handle, gives it up to Arizo. Across the front iron, no, but a whistle and a foul. We'll check the license plate for you before the media timeout. And that foul is going to be assessed on Chad Andrews Fulton. That's his second. 15-11 to go second half. It's now Savannah State 47, Coppin State 43. Back after this timeout on the Coppin State Sports Network.
Half of all football teams lose every Sunday, which means 50% of fans lose too. But Buffalo Wild Wings offers them a chance of redemption. Just swivel that losing face 12 degrees, and there's more football with a fresh 50% chance of winning. Now it's your turn to laugh at someone else's losing face. Unless it's you again. Then just try another 12 degrees. Tons of football and tons of TVs. We do it for you. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Coppin State University means something different to everyone. Jason is a recent high school grad, attending Coppin full-time, getting his 4-year degree, preparing for a lucrative career. Kimberly took time off to start a family, and now attends Coppin part-time and enjoys the affordability and supportive environment. Kazim wants to change careers and finds that Coppin provides the flexibility he needs to keep working while getting that second degree. Coppin State University, something different to everyone, something special for you.
$15-11 left. Coppin State on the short end right now. Savannah State 47 and the Eagles 43. Davis, Oregon, Oslander, Brownlee, they all start.
So, Dan, how about the opening half? 33% for Savannah State from three. They're 1 of 4 in the second half, so that percentage has dropped. Coppin State followed suit. 7 of 14 in the opening half, 1 for 3 in the second half.
I believe that we'll see maybe less of those threes. Both teams are trying to work the paint a little bit better to pick up fouls.
So Rimanoff on the Arizu free throw attempt. He'll have another one. Second one's on the way, good. So Arizu split a pair, give him 3 for the game, and make it a 48-43 Savannah State lead. Davis against the trap, gave it up to Brownlee. Gave it up to Davis, left of the jump circle. Coming left of the screen from Andrews Fulton. Davis, line, lane, swings it out right side. Oslander, gave it back to Morgan. Morgan back to Brownlee, 8 to shoot. Brownlee going right of the lane, swings it back to Morgan. Deep 3, it's on the way, good. Lamar Morgan now with 16. Coppin pulls to within 2 at 48-46, 14:35 to go. Line, lane, McClanahan got bodied off. No whistle there. Swings it all the way back to the top to Descent. Descent goes left to the head of the key, wants a 3 and answers.
Boy, he had a hand in his face, too, from Oslander, and still made that shot.
Makes it 51-46, Savannah State, 14:15 to go. Brownlee swings it back to Davis. Davis into the forecourt. Left side Brownlee, one more pass to Oslander. Left corner 3 is on the way, good. Oslander's on the board with a triple. Cuts it to 2 again at 51-49.
Drummond was ready to check in for Oslander until he hit the shot, and Coach Dixon waves it back to the bench.
Last touched by Arizu trying to save it in. Sellers will check out. Evans will check back in. Oslander remains in the Coppin State lineup. Davis from the baseline to inbound with 13:54 to go. Brownlee gave it back to Davis. Davis to the far side. Gave it back to Morgan, now back to Davis. Karan with the handle, got caught in a double team and turned it over. Threw it away to McClanahan. McClanahan, a long outlet, got picked off by Morgan. It was intended for Fenner.
Nice hustle by Morgan. He just ran the ball down.
Davis now to Andrews Fulton. Top side left to Brownlee. Coming to his right, now back to his left. Got caught in a double team and tried to reverse it off now to Davis. 15 to shoot. Right side Morgan. Catch and fire 3. It's on the way. Good again. Lamar Morgan now with 19 and Coppin back on top. 52-51. Right side Fenner. Baseline right. Right of the rim. No. Oslander kept it alive. Tracked down by Brownlee. Brownlee on the run back. Over the top to Andrews Fulton. Coppin's got numbers the other way, poked away from behind, and Morgan got bodied off by Descent from behind. That's his second.
That was a hard foul, too. A lot harder foul than it looked.
Non-shooting foul. Third assessed on Savannah State as a team, with Coppin State back in front, 52-51. Descent checks out. John Grant checks back in.
John Grant only played 3 minutes tonight.
Off the inbound, Auslander finds Morgan. Left side, he wants another three. Rim it off. Rebound to Evans. Evans on the run back, left to right, top side right, going baseline to the right. Skipped it, far side left. McClanahan tried to reverse it off. Fenner traveled going to the free throw line. Kicks it back, top side right. Free ball for Grant, comes back iron, no good. Saved into McClanahan, left wing behind the arc. Now for Evans. Evans swings it up to Fenner. Fenner going right of the lane, right to the doorstep. Scoop with a right hand and scores. 53-52. Savannah State back on top, 12 and a half to go. Auslander gave it back to Davis. Davis into the jump circle now. Trying to use that Andrews Fulton screen. Bounce it off to Morgan. Catch and fire three. Rim it off. Rebound now to Grant. Quickly up the floor down to McClanahan. Leaves it off to a trailer. That's Evans. Evans reverse it off between the rings. Now top side of the right. Fenner to Grant, and we got a whistle and contact.
That'll be on Morgan. Lamar Morgan with the arm bar.
That's his third. Traor's coming to get Chad Andrews Fulton. Jenkins is back. He'll replace McClanahan, who is a second-team All-MEAC pick in the preseason. 20 to shoot off the inbound for Evans. And now they move from the baseline to the sideline in front of the Tigers bench. Davis guards that inbound play. It comes in now to Arizu. Arizu tried to go pick and roll. It was almost cut off. 10 to shoot. Circling back to the top of the key is Evans. Left side Fenner. Now to the hands of Jenkins. Back to Fenner. Line to the lane. Bounce it off right of the lane. And stepping out of bounds with the basketball was Grant. That brings us to a timeout on the floor. 11:45 to go, second half. It's now Savannah State 53, Coppin State 52. Back after this timeout on the Coppin State Sports Network.
Look at that mouth. That poor, parched mouth. So dry. What'd you eat for lunch? Chalk dust? Did your face storm a sandcastle? Did your mouth cannonball into a barrel of mothballs? You're being awfully quiet. Is that because your mouth feels like the business end of a Dremel saw? Is it because your mouth just wrote a haiku and all 17 syllables are dry heaves? Do you even listen to your mouth? Because right now your mouth thinks its biological parents are a half sheet of 80 grit sandpaper and a box of fish food. You're so parched. You know it. I know it. The entire radio knows it. Just admit it. You want a Mountain Dew? Your mouth feels like it just inhaled the insides of a punching bag, and the only remedy is that neon green potion. Right now, your mouth could be tongue bathing in a refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Instead, it feels like you've been motorboating King Tut's sarcophagus. What was that? Is that your parched mouth crying for help, or a porcupine making whoopee with a cardboard box? Wrong. It's your mouth. Show some mercy. Crack open a nice cold Mountain Dew. You know your mouth wants you to. Do the deal.
They're back. Savannah State clinging to a 53-52 lead with 11:45 left.
13 lead changes and 4 ties. Both teams taking superb care of the basketball.
Both teams shooting 41.7% from the field exactly in the second half.
So Auslander to inbound the basketball. He'll get it into Davis, and Karan Davis, as soon as that timeout was called and everybody got over to the bench, he took immediate command of that huddle before the coaches came over to instruct. Drummond on the catch, now to Davis right of the jump circle. 16 to shoot. Davis now to Auslander, near side left to Drummond. Back to Davis. Davis going right. Bounce it out right side to Brownlee, and it was deflected out of bounds.
That's a good break for the Eagles to get the ball back there. They had Auslander alone in the corner over there. No one near him.
Grant and Evans check out for Savannah State. McClanahan came back. 4 to shoot. Oslander from the baseline to inbound. Looking, swings it to the top. Davis on the catch, right of the jump circle with 3. Goes right of the lane, flights it up to the right hand and scores. Karan Davis.
Great move to the basket there. He could have pulled up for a 3, but he decided to take it to the paint once again.
54-53. Drummond covers up the basketball. Dual possession is the call, and the arrow will give it to Coppin State. Great hustle there by Jaquan Drummond to get on the floor for it.
.11 minutes, 6 seconds left. Coppin State with a 1-point lead.
Perspiration absorber has been brought onto the floor.
Both teams playing hard tonight.
11:06 to go. 54-53, Coppin by 1 on the 14th lead change. Oslander, top side left to Drummond. Drummond, top side of the right now to Davis. Davis gave it up to Drummond. Left corner kick out now for Oslander. Back between the rings to Davis. Top side left to Oslander. Goes right. Lane fights one up. Glass no, but a whistle and a foul.
That is exactly what Coach Dixon has been preaching for Kent to do. To take his strength, and take his body, and go for that basket. And he'll pick up the foul.
Arizu with his second. 4th on Savannah State in the second half with 10:49 to go. Oslander line left, coaxes home that free throw. 55-53, Coppin State. Keep in mind, Eagles had a 3-0 lead early in this game. Second one's good. Oslander's got 5. 56-53, Coppin, 10:45 to go. The bounce off head of the key. Now for Arizu. Swings it back, right side for McClanahan. Dumped it back to Arizu. Floated up for Arizu off that catch and fire for Sellers. Again, the loose ball on the floor, and we have a whistle, and what?
10. You got 22.
Everybody helped back to their feet, including Karan Davis. And a timeout taken by Savannah State with 13 seconds remaining on the shot clock. And the first timeout called in the second half extends to a full timeout. So with 10:29 to go second half, it's Coppin State 56, Savannah State 53. Back after a 60-second timeout on the Coppin State Sports Network.
Town Place Suites caters to moderate tier extended stay guests who find comfort in being self-sufficient and doing things their way. To sustain your life's rhythm, Town Place Suites provides a place to unpack, settle in, and connect to the local area. With a casual, residential atmosphere and productive home office and full kitchen in every suite, Town Place Suites is all about real living. Whether you're visiting for 1 week or 1 month, you'll feel right at home at Town Place Suites.
Half of all football teams lose every Sunday, which means 50% of fans lose too. But Buffalo Wild Wings offers them a chance at redemption. Just swivel that losing face 12 degrees, and there's more football with a fresh 50% chance of winning. Now it's your turn to laugh at someone else's losing face, unless it's you again. Then just try another 12 degrees. Tons of football and tons of TVs. We do it for you. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wins, beer, sports.
Coppin State Eagles looking for their first win of the season. And right now, they are up by 3. 10:29 left to go in the game. And here's my partner.
Come on, guys, let's go.
Dan Mason, thank you very kindly. Morgan has returned, so has Fair. Drummond, along with Traore. And Oslander. 13 to shoot for Savannah State, trailing by 3 at 56-53. 10:29 to go. Inbound comes. And now far side left, it goes to Fenner. Fenner, top side of the right now for Sellers. 5 to shoot. Sellers doesn't notice the clock. Turns right, and right through the hands of McClanahan. I don't think he ever got it out of his hand. He didn't. Shot clock violation.
Shot clock violation is right. Buzzer hit before he got it out. Another turnover for Savannah State.
So off the turnover by the Tigers, here comes Drummond to Auslander. Auslander over the time stripe, kicks it right side. Troyer runs in a lane, fights it up, wave it off. He got fouled. He almost traveled.
The free throw opportunities are beginning to mount up here for Coppin State to take advantage of.
That's on Fenner, his second. Keep it 56-53. Coppin State leading Savannah State for the moment. Troyer stepping in at the free throw line. First one's on the way, and it is good.
He's 2 for 3 for the night.
57-53 Coppin State. Now this may be a little 5-0 run, Dan, but it's huge to go up by 4. Largest lead of the night for Coppin State is now 5.
Oh, that was a great steal.
Troyer's got it at the free throw line, runs it right to the rack and scores with the right hand.
Savannah State fell asleep on the inbound, and Troyer just took it from him.
Troyer's got 7, 60-53, so the largest margin both ways is 7 points, and we're under 10 minutes to go. McClanahan's got it. Right side penetration, fights it up, glass and good. McClanahan now with 11, makes it 60-55, Coppin State, 9:35 to go. Auslander playing two-man with Drummond in the backcourt. Now to Auslander to the forecourt. Right side kick out to Troyer. Back to Auslander. Head of the key, Drummond for 3. It's on the way, front of the rim, no good. McClanahan lost the handle. Loose ball in the backcourt. Now McClanahan picks it up. He'll bring it left to right across the time stripe, defended by Morgan. Top side right to Sellers. Sellers, right side penetration again. Gave it up to Arizo. Glass and good. And Arizo now with 5, 60-57, and 4 quick ones by the Tigers. Right side Troyer, bounce it back top side of the right to Drummond. Drummond between the rings with 18 to shoot, 8:45 and counting here in the second half. Fair to the doorstep, Troyer, power bounce in the lane. Reversed it back off and it's picked off. McClanahan runs it strong on Drummond, wave everything off, a blocking foul is called. Drummond with his second, Dan. That's a huge call. And it's going to send McClanahan to the free throw line. Chad Andrews Fulton waiting at the scorer's table. McClanahan puts it on the way, and it's good. He now has 12. 60-58. Coppin by 2. So that 7-point lead is now down to 2.
Chad, you got 10. All right, press out, Chad. You behind the defense.
Second McClanahan attempt forthcoming.
Rebound.
On the way and rim it off. So keep it 60-58, Coppin by 2, the lead on the ball. Auslander gave it back to Drummond with the missed free throw. That could have drawn it to 1. Now top side left Morgan, back between the rings to Drummond. Drummond swings it right side, Andrews Fulton with 10 to shoot. Kicks it back out far side right to Fair. Now to Drummond, runs left of the lane, fights one up, rim, no whistle on the contact. And shaking up on the play is Glenn. Left side, trailing 3 for Jenkins, and he buries it. Give him 16, and it's now 61-60. Savannah State back on top. Coppin State takes time with 8:04 to go in the second half. We're back after a 60-second timeout on the Coppin State Sports Network.
Coppin State University means something different to everyone. Jason is a recent high school grad, attending Coppin full-time, getting his 4-year degree, preparing for a lucrative career. Kimberly took time off to start a family and now attends Coppin part-time and enjoys the affordability and supportive environment. Kazim wants to change careers and finds that Coppin provides the flexibility he needs to keep working while getting that second degree. Coppin State University, something different to everyone, something special for you.
Town Place Suites caters to moderate tier extended stay guests who find comfort in being self-sufficient and doing things their way. To sustain your life's rhythm, Town Place Suites provides a place to unpack, settle in, and connect to the local area. With a casual residential atmosphere and productive home office and full kitchen in every suite, Town Place Suites is all about real living. Whether you're visiting for 1 week or 1 month, you'll feel right at home at Town Place Suites.
Your home for Coppin State Athletics. Sports Talk, WNSP 1570 Towson, and online, FoxSportsWilliamsport.com, Stream 6.
Coppin State Eagles looking for that first win. They are down by 1. 8 minutes, 4 seconds left. And I believe, Todd, it's going to come down to who takes care of the ball the most.
I agree. 19-6 run after Coppin State trailed 47-41. And Savannah State answered 8 unanswered to take that 1-point lead. 8:04 to go. Next dead ball will also be a timeout. So Auslander's got it. Bounce it ahead now to Morgan. Morgan lets traffic clear and hands it off to Davis. Left side, Drummond wants a 3. Left of the rim and off. Rebound to Glenn. Hands it off to Evans. He streaks it the other way. Right side out of McClanahan. McClanahan looking at Glenn. He'll catch it head of the key. Now left side to Evans. Evans going left of the lane. Reverse it back off to Glenn. He traveled. Ball is knocked loose by Chad Andrews Fulton. And loose ball now to Drummond. Now back to Morgan. Swings it to a trailing Davis. Left wing behind the arc. Now back to Drummond. Now back to Davis. They'll reset it with 20 to shoot. Davis. Right side to Morgan. Deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Jenkins with 12 to shoot. 7:18 to go. No dead ball timeout. They already took it. With that, Brownlee's going to check back in and replace Drummond in the Coppin State lineup. Davis right of the jump circle. Now for Brownlee. Dribble penetration, left of the lane. Kicks it out far side of the right. Auslander with 5, down to 4. Shovels it off to Andrews Fulton. He's fouled, trying to turn right. Good. Talk about penetration and kick all the time.
Good offensive movement that time. Constant movement to the basket. Just what we want to see.
Now, you mentioned seeing him in his younger days. Did he do that back in the day?
I'd say it was the high school days. Of course, it's not the competition level, but he was very dominant. And Herndon High School had a really good season that year.
So now, Chad Andrews Fulton steps in at the free throw line with 7:09 to go. Trailing by 1, 61-60, and the free throw is on the way and good.
In fact, I saw Herndon play in that Gonzaga tournament that's so popular around Christmas time. And they were playing against some of the toughest Catholic schools in the region.
61 all. Second free throw by Chad Andrews Fulton gives Coppin the lead back at 62-61. 16th lead change in this game. Here comes Evans. Top side right to Jenkins. Feeds it off to Glenn with his back to the basket. Defended by Chad Andrews Fulton. Hands it off to McClanahan. He wants a forced 3. Back of the rim. Top of the backboard. No. Stick back followed by Jenkins. He was over the back. They call a whistle and a foul on Coppin. On the rebound attempt, it's on Chad Andrews Fulton. That's his third. It sends Javaris Jenkins to the free throw line. Jenkins having a fine day. 16 points in this one. First one's on the way. Front of the rim, no good. 62-61, Coppin by 1. A chance to tie for Jenkins at the free throw line.
Box out, box out.
Second one's on the way, rim and good. Jenkins now with 17. Dan Mason, we're tied for the 5th time. This time it's 62.
I think it's going to go all the way down like this.
Brownlee with it, hands it off to Auslander. Back to Brownlee. Lost the handle, gets it back between the rings. 15 to shoot, 2-3 zone look from Savannah State. Davis, left wing behind the arc, now to Brownlee. Line, lane, lost it on the way up. Glenn shovels it ahead. Bounce it weak side of the right, glass and good for Evans. Give him 6. Savannah State back on top, 64-62. Nearly taken away from Auslander, and it is. Stolen by Descent. Gave it up, and a scoring right-hand attempt by Evans. That's good. Give him 8. And a delay of game and a foul call on Descent. I believe it's going to be his 4th or just a delay of game warning. Make it 66-62, Savannah State. Off the inbound, it comes to Brownlee. Brownlee to Auslander in the jump circle. Now to the forecourt. Bounce it off to Brownlee. Closing it on 6 minutes to go. Now to Davis. Davis to Auslander. Left wing behind the arc. Swings it off to Davis. Bounce it off. Weak side of the lane to Brownlee. Brownlee steps through a double team. Put it on the floor. And a whistle and a foul. Boy, Lucian Brownlee had to go through a lot of traffic there.
He almost made it, too. He almost had that.
So Glenn picks up his 2nd. Brownlee trying to gather himself before stepping into the free throw line. 66-62, Savannah State leading Coppin State.
First chance at the free throw line tonight for Lucian.
First one's on the way. Good. That's his first point in the second half after putting up 13 in the opening half. 66-63. Glenn checks out. Fenner's back on. And he'll defend Drummond. Auslander checks out. For Coppin State. Brownlee's 2nd attempt. Rim, it lipped off. Tapped out toward the baseline and saved in by Savannah State. 66-63. Left side. Jenkins wants a 3. Rimming off. Loose ball tapped out. Jenkins caught it. Fires it left side out of Fenner. He'll back it out to Jenkins. Top side of the right now to Descent. He'll come right side and hand it off on a ball screen to Evans. Evans head of the key. Step back 3 is on the way. Glass no, but a whistle and a colossal flop and a foul called on Chad Andrews Fulton.
Colossal flop is right. A little theatrical there.
Corey didn't have to replay that one at all. As soon as it left his hand, he literally threw himself backwards.
It's like the WWF days.
Wow. It's a huge call in this game. 3 free throws now for Evans. First one, lips the ribbon off. I think he had a feeling when it came out of his hand it was going to be off. So then you do the theatrics to try to get that call, and he got the call.
He got the call.
Second one's good. So Evans now 1 out of 2. He'll have a third one to make it 67-63, Savannah State. Second Evans attempt on the way and good. Evans now with 10 off the Savannah State bench. Makes it a 5-point Tiger lead at 68-63, 5:25 to go. Drummond swings it, near side up to Brownlee. Brownlee gave it up to Davis between the rings. 2-3 zone again from the Tigers. No, hedge left side Morgan. He wants a 3. It's on the way, good. Morgan with 22. 68-66. Tigers by 2. Top side right. McClanahan the handle, goes baseline right on Morgan, blocked on the way up. Last touched by the Tigers, out of bounds.
That was a great block that time. Great block.
Sellers checks in for the Tigers. Inbounder will be Drummond. From the baseline, gets it into Davis. Davis now to Brownlee, back to Davis. Bounce it weak side now to Brownlee. Brownlee to the forecourt. 4:45 to go. Right side Drummond fumbled to catch. Brownlee now to Davis. Davis a step in 3 left wing. Rim it lift off. Rebound now to McClanahan. Up the floor now for Fenner. Fenner lost the handle. Swings it back to McClanahan. Top side of the right now for Sellers. Sellers, right wing behind the arc. Hands it off on a ball screen to Descent. Descent got in a lane. Blocked on the attempt by Orizu, and a whistle. Last touch by Coppin State. Out of bounds by Karan Davis. Are we going to have a conversation on the potential turnover? We have two officials getting together.
Get messed up now.
Call on the floor will keep it with Savannah State. They also have the possession arrow. Shot clock currently sits at 14. And they'll reset it to 30 because he stepped out of bounds with the ball. Sellers will inbound from the baseline. Lobs it in. To the backcourt it goes. McClanahan on the catch, defended by Morgan. McClanahan, top side of the right. Penetration by Fenner. Fights it up. Glass rim. It fell off. Orizu had it and lost it. A lot of contact.
A lot of contact there is right.
And no call. Drummond ends up with the ball for Coppin State, down by 2, 68-66, closing in on 4 minutes to go.
Couldn't ask for a more physical game, that's for sure, Tom.
Wow, that looked like a football collision there. Running back going into a linebacker. My goodness. Davis lined in the lane, kicking off to Brownlee. 3-ball hit of the key. Good. Lucian Brownlee. Now with 17.
Lucian's basket puts Coppin back on top.
69-68. And a 3-ball answer one more time by the Tigers. Puts them back on top. 71-69. 3:25 to go. McClanahan now with 15. Davis on the bounce, left side, 13 to shoot. Gives it up now for Troyor. Right side, Brownlee, another 3. Left of the rim, no good. McClanahan the rebound. Out of the forecourt to Fenner. Top side to McClanahan. Far side left. Sellers runs the show. Trying to break down. Drummond off the bounce. Left side 3-ball, good again out of that far left corner. By Descent, give him 13. Make it 74-69. Savannah State and a timeout on the floor. 2:53 to go in this one. It's Savannah State by 5. It's 74-69. Back after this timeout on the Coppin State Sports Network.
Mouth. That poor, parched mouth. So dry. What'd you eat for lunch? Chalk dust? Did your face storm a sandcastle? Did your mouth cannonball into a barrel of mothballs? You're being awfully quiet. Is that because your mouth feels like the business end of a Dremel saw? Is it because your mouth just wrote a haiku and all 17 syllables were dry heaves? Do you even listen to your mouth? Because right now your mouth thinks its biological parents are a half sheet of 80 grit sandpaper and a box of fish food. You're so parched. You know it. I know it. The entire radio knows it. Just admit it. You want a Mountain Dew. Your mouth feels like it just inhaled the insides of a punching bag, and the only remedy is that neon green potion. Right now, your mouth could be tongue-bathing in the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Instead, it feels like you've been motorboating King Tut's sarcophagus. What was that? Is that your parched mouth crying for help, or a porcupine making whoopee with a cardboard box? Wrong. It's your mouth. Show some mercy. Crack open a nice cold Mountain Dew. You know your mouth wants you to. Do the dew.
Coppin State on the short end. 74-69, 2:53 left. Shooting percentages right now for the game is Savannah State 46.2, Coppin 40.4. And we are winding down to the last 2 minutes, 53 seconds. Here's Todd Bartley.
Dan, they got a foul to give to get to 6, and then the next one after that would put Savannah State one and the bonus. Savannah State already at 17 fouls. Closing in on 2:45 to go. 2-possession lead for the Tigers. Skip over the top. Morgan on the catch. Left wing behind the arc. Gave it up to Davis. Davis against the 2-3 zone has Andrews Fulton set the screen high left. Davis backs it out with 15 to shoot. Now to Oslander, top side right. Tried to go right corner. Deflected and stolen. Taken away by Sellers. Sellers on the run back. Gave it up to the doorstep to Descent. Kicked it back out right side McClanahan. Reverse it off now to Jenkins. Left side runner, glass rim no good on the Sellers take, but a foul on the floor. It's on Davis. It's his second. Non-shooting foul. They recycle the shot clock to 30. It's currently sitting at 20. Now it's at 30. Inbounder will be Sellers. Trayor at the table will be allowed to enter before the inbound of the basketball. He'll replace Andrews Fulton. 74-69. Savannah State leads Coppin State. 2:21 to go. Sellers from the baseline. Looks. Lob to the top. McClanahan on the catch. Head of the key. Bounce it weak side left. Fender went into traffic. Gave it up to Jenkins. Jenkins off the glass. No, but a whistle on a foul. And Jenkins took a shot. It's on Morgan. That's his fourth.
And Jenkins is 3 for 4 from the free throw line tonight. He's still a little shaken up, Tom.
The way Jenkins reacted is if he took a shot below the belt. So now he's got a free throw attempt on the way. It's good. He's got 18 to make it 75-69 in favor of Savannah State. Second attempt on the way. Good again. 76-69. Jenkins now with 19.
2 minutes. Let's go, baby.
Inbound comes to Davis. Davis and Drummond playing two-man in the backcourt. Drummond out of the forecourt over the top to Oslander. Oslander left wing behind the arc out of the double team. Bounce it back to Drummond. Drummond gave it up to Davis. 15 to shoot. Davis line to the lane. Kick it out left corner. Drummond wants a three. It's on the way. Rim. It popped out. Tracked down by Trayor. Trayor looking. Turns to his right. Stops in the lane. Pivots. Gives it up top side of the right to Morgan. Morgan going to his right. Gallops to the glass and scores with the right hand.
You used the word gallops. That's exactly what he did. He was out in front and never looked back.
76-71. Savannah State by 5. 95 seconds to go. Sellers with it. Nearly had it taken away, and Drummond lost the handle, but here comes Trayor with it. Put it behind his back, down to the forecourt. Kick out left corner. Morgan a three. Oh, we're going the other way. Trayor just ran right over a Tiger. Trayor picks up his fourth, and Morgan had a clean look at a three out of the left corner.
He had buried it.
So now the change being made. Arizu checks out. Jenkins to inbound, up by 5, 84 seconds to go. Inbound now for Fenner. Fenner from the far side, bounced it back into the hands of Descent. Descent back to Fenner. Fenner, defended by Oslander, backs it out with 20 to shoot, 75 seconds to go. Fenner clears off Oslander, floats it up, rim and good. Fenner now with 4, 78-71, Savannah State. Closing in on a minute to go.
Coppin State with one timeout left.
Trayor back to Davis. Davis under a minute to go. Now dribbles right around the Trayor screen. Bounce it off to the doorstep. Trayor bounce it weak side left to Morgan. He wants a three. Back of the rim, no. And the rebound yanked down by Fenner. And we have a foul call, I believe, on Morgan. That will be his fifth, and he's called for a trip. So he'll foul out with 45 and a half seconds to go with a game high of 24 points. Brownlee with a new career high of 17. Checks in at the scorer's table to replace Lamar Morgan. And with 45.5 to go, McClanahan steps in at the free throw line.
5 for 6 for the night from McClanahan.
First one's on the way. It's good. McClanahan now with 16. 79-71. Savannah State. Evans will Check in for McClanahan if he makes this free throw. It is on the way, rim and off. Rebound Auslander. Keep it 79-71, Savannah State. 40 seconds to go. Davis, right corner to Brownlee. Brownlee out of the double team. Spins to the baseline. Got to the doorstep, shoveled it inside to Traore. Traore trying to track it down, and are we going the other way? Yes, Traore hooked him. That's his 5th.
Tough last 2 minutes for the Eagles.
It's an 11-2 run after Coppin took a 69-68 lead. And it appears that the streak is going to continue. And Savannah State will be picking up their first win in MEAC play on the season. So Fair will check in and replace Adam Traore. So Descent will step in at the free throw line. 2 free throws forthcoming. First one's on the way, good. Descent now with 14. And it appears the closeout run is now 12-2. Descent, rim, back of the rim and off. 80-71. Give it up to Davis. Davis line to the lane. Reverse it out right side. Fair wants a 3. It's on the way across the iron. No good. 20 seconds to go. Rebound came down to Arizu. Arizu gave it up to Jenkins. He pitches ahead down to the forecourt. McClanahan will hold far side. Nearly lost the handle, and he did. It was last touched by Coppin State, I believe, or was it Savannah State? Savannah State last to touch it out of bounds. McClanahan had it go off his body. 8.7 to go. Here comes Evans back in. He'll replace Descent. Inbound to Davis. Davis into the forecourt, bouncing off to Auslander. Fade away is going to go wide left and short. 3 seconds to go. Rebound comes down to Evans, and that'll do it. Valiant effort by Coppin State. Comes up empty as they took a 69-68 lead. And then Savannah State answered with a 12-2 closeout run to win 80-71.
Got to be a tough loss tonight. Very difficult loss. Coppin State played very well, hard, but the last 2 minutes, not so well. Turnovers hurt the game.
So with that, we anticipate a post-game visit with Coach Juan Dixon. Before that happens, both teams are going to exit the floor. First, Coppin State will head to their locker room, and now Savannah State will head to their locker room. And Coach having a post-game conversation very quickly with Coach Brodnax. And his Tigers will pick up their first win in MEAC play as Coach Juan Dixon now joins us courtside. Coach, today's game, you had a lead late at 69-68, and then the answer from Savannah State was 12-2. As we've talked about the process going forward, it's closing out games, and this is also part of the learning curve.
We got to learn how to win. It's that simple. We didn't defend as well in the second half, and it's a habit, us not defending at a high level when we're away from our bench. So we just got to keep grinding. It's a process. It's going to take time. It ain't going to happen overnight, but we're going to keep coaching them hard. The guys are going to stay positive, and they're going to keep working.
So from down 6 at 47-41 to get back in the game in a 7-point lead, largest of the night, was a 19-6 run for Coppin about midway through the second half. How proud were you of your guys to respond that way?
I'm proud, and it's tough. We just got to get that monkey off our back, and it's hard. And we tell the guys every day, it's not easy to win. And I try to tell as many stories as possible of my experiences in college. It's not easy to win. You got to grind, you got to be focused, you got to stay positive, you got to stay ready. You just never know when your number is going to be called, but we got to sustain a solid defensive effort throughout the game. And we're going to keep working at it, and working on our principles, and hopefully we get a win.
It's a very quick turnaround now for Monday night, Florida A&M. What do you expect from A&M coming in on Monday night?
Watch film. We want to get a game plan together and try to get a win on Monday.
Appreciate the time. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Thanks, man.
There it is, head coach Juan Dixon after a very tough one today, 80-71 here at the PEC. We're back with our postgame show in 2 minutes on the Coppin State Sports Network.
Did your face storm a sandcastle? Did your mouth cannonball into a barrel of mothballs? You're being awfully quiet. Is that because your mouth feels like the business end of a Dremel saw? Is it because your mouth just wrote a haiku and all 17 syllables were dry heaves? Do you even listen to your mouth? Because right now your mouth thinks its biological parents are a half sheet of 80 grit sandpaper and a box of fish food. You're so parched. You know it. I know it. The entire radio knows it. Just admit it. You want a Mountain Dew. Your mouth feels like it just inhaled the insides of a punching bag, and the only remedy is that neon green potion. Right now, your mouth could be tongue-bathing in a refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Instead, it feels like you've been motorboating King Tut's sarcophagus. What was that? Is that your parched mouth crying for help, or a porcupine making whoopee with a cardboard box? Wrong. It's your mouth. Show some mercy. Crack open an ice-cold Mountain Dew. You know your mouth wants you to. Do the dew.
Half of all football teams lose every Sunday, which means 50% of fans lose too. But Buffalo Wild Wings offers them a chance at redemption. Just swivel that losing face 12 degrees, and there's more football with a fresh 50% chance of winning. Now it's your turn to laugh at someone else's losing face. Unless it's you again. Then just try another 12 degrees. Tons of football and tons of TVs. We do it for you. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Coppin State University means something different to everyone. Jason is a recent high school grad, attending Coppin full-time, getting his 4-year degree, preparing for a lucrative career. Kimberly took time off to start a family and now attends Coppin part-time and enjoys the affordability and supportive environment. Kazim wants to change careers and finds that Coppin provides the flexibility he needs to keep working while getting that second degree. Coppin State University, something different to everyone, something special for you.
Well, we're back with Wrap It Up. Savannah State taking a victory right from the jaws of the Coppin State Eagles tonight. 80-71, hard-fought game, highly intense game, and some good performances by Lamar Morgan. Lucian Brownlee looked absolutely phenomenal tonight. 6 for 7 from the floor, and 4 for 5 from three-point range. So great game by Lucian tonight.
New career high of 17, but he was outshined, if you will, by Lamar Morgan, 24.6 rebounds. However, the streak will move to 17 consecutive losses, 0-2 to begin MEAC play, 80-71 at the hands of Savannah State, preseason ranked in the poll, number 5, and now Florida A&M coming in here on Monday night.
Well, we got probably more of the same, and in listening to Coach Dixon, go back and put together a game plan and keep at it, keep putting one foot in front of the other, and teach the guys how to defend in the late minutes.
The one thing that I noticed today as well is that Trey Thomas, and again, I'm not second-guessing anybody, but when you've got a kid that's put that kind of time in, it can hit it from 3, as Trey has done, and he was able to play tonight. It's very interesting to see if he will be playing again on Monday night, because I would argue that they need him.
And I was impressed by the play of Ken Oslander tonight. He's a great addition to this team. He has 5 assists tonight. Scores some points, gets some rebounds.
Yeah, and with this process, they need everybody. Would
Yes,
you
they
agree?
do. It takes everybody in the village to work together.
You got it. So the final score once again, women win tonight, 66-57 to book their first MEAC win. The men fall in the nightcap, 80-71. And both teams will take on Florida A&M Monday, 5:30 tip-off. We'll go to air on WNST AM 1570 here in Baltimore at the neighborhood of 5:15, and also FoxSportsWilliamsport.com. For Tyler Ruby, our in-studio engineer, my partner Dan Mason, Todd Barley, final score, final time of the men's action tonight. Savannah State defeats Coppin State 80-71. Thanks so much for listening on the Coppin State Sports Network. Stay tuned for the sounds of the game.